Hello students, welcome to this online class, and from today onwards we are starting giving you the online class, and I hope this online class will be effective for you, especially you please focus more on the study, and whatever the videos and classes where will be sending you, then please you check it out several times, you watch it, and then you will be getting the benefit from the same classes. So let's see today, as I have already started yesterday, some of the classes on the geography especially. So here I will be discussing today the new chapter called our environment. So this is the fourth chapter in the geographical sector. So our this particular chapter is we have got many varieties of components which is given in this chapter. So therefore, let's see. So here, first of all, I will go about the whole details about this chapter. Now see, the first point we will be discussing here about the natural environment, and so it is related with our environment. So natural environment. Secondly, we have got here about the lithosphere. Then thirdly, we have got hydrosphere. Then third, we have got atmosphere. Then fourth, we have got biosphere. So these are the four details we will be discussing today. And here, for example, the word environment comes from the French word. So French word, when we say, then the meaning of this the French word is known as the environment. Environment. It means the term environment, the English term environment. In French word, it is derived from, and then it is actually pronounced environment, and the meaning is here the environment. So that is actually we have seen in the book. Then this particular environment we will be discussing about the two categories of especially like two categories. We have divided into two categories, and here first we will be discussing about the nature, and the second one is human. So these two category discussion we will be talking about in this chapter, and then we will have first of all the natural environment. Now so we will be dividing the natural environment, or we have the classification into two. There is about the natural and human. So let us go first with the natural environment. Now see, when we speak about the natural environment, here we have got physical and biological elements. It means natural environment, when we speak about, in the nature we will not see only the physical part, but also we have got the biological components even of the elements given. So when we talk about the physical part of this natural environment, here the first one includes the physical part of the physical environment. Actually it includes what is the thing? Non-living or abiotic sources. So let's say here when we speak about the non-living, it means, or maybe the abiotic, what we are referring here we are referring about the land, rock, air, water. It means these are all these elements do not have the life. That's why we call it non-living or abiotic environmental resources. Okay. Secondly, we have got in this natural environment we will be discussing about, that is on biological elements, and in this biological elements we have got the living beings. It means whatever the biology is what having the life. Okay, having the life. So here we will be speaking about the especially human beings, plants, animals, and whatever the living organisms, whether seen and unseen. These are the things actually part of the here the biological elements. So next in this especially discussion, we will be combining, and this four domains or rings of this particular study will be totally depending on the four parts here. So here the first part of this domains will be, or the rings of the discussion will be here first the lithosphere. So lithosphere which is the uppermost layer of our Earth, and are the components we have got on the upper layer of the lithosphere. So lithosphere is a part of the physical part. Okay? Here we are not speaking about the life. Secondly, we have got hydrosphere, and in this hydrosphere, hydro means water, and so this hydrosphere we are speaking more or less the water body, and you know water body has been actually three forms. There is a solid, liquid, and gas. So we will be discussing in details. And the third part of this domain is atmosphere. Now, atmosphere is actually a mixture of the gases, and in this gases we can find varieties of gases are actually found in the atmosphere. So here we have got nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, ozone, and different gas forms like argon, helium, and many other components actually mixed into this study. So that's why we will be speaking more details about the atmosphere again. Then the fourth part of this discussion is biosphere, which is very important, especially we are living beings. So it means we will be speaking about more on the biosphere. So here narrow zone. It is the narrow zone. Which are the narrow zones we can call it? Lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. It means all this combining only where the living being can be or the biological formation are taking place. It means whatever the generation, whatever the new life is coming up, or something is getting born, these are all part of the biological zone or biosphere zone. So it is known as the narrow sphere. It means lithosphere, the physical part, hydrosphere, the water body, and then atmosphere, the gaseous form. All this combining actually the bio is forming. Okay? So these are all actually part of our discussion. So let me talk about lithosphere, especially the uppermost layer. Now see, the uppermost or the solid layer of the earth is actually called the lithosphere, and it is also known as the crust. So as I have already mentioned, and it is consists of actually rock materials. So we have to understand rock materials and soil. As I have given you the examples, rock materials and soil is very much found in this upper layer, that is the lithosphere. Then again, what we have got here, about 71%. It means you must remember about this lithosphere especially. 71%. It means 71% of this lithosphere actually, we have got total area of the lithosphere is covered by water in fact. Okay? Even though you see that the water, especially the hydrosphere, is covered in a huge area. Today, for example, we have got 5 oceans, and these are the 5 oceans actually covering the nearly 71% of the total lithosphere. It means everywhere lithosphere is actually found, but then since it is covered with the water due to the natural formation. So here it consists of many landforms such as mountains, plains, plateaus. In this lithosphere you will find mountain, then terrain, peaks, many other things are actually found here, and even the plains you will find. So and a plateau. So these landforms can be found on the land surface as well as on the ocean floor. So we have already, since we are speaking about the 71% of this lithosphere is covered with water and all. So here you will find that these are all actually found in the lithosphere. It means water and a biological part even is including in this lithosphere. So that is about the lithosphere. Now the lithosphere in fact is important to us because of the following regions. Now see, what are the regions we have to understand. Actually it consists of rock materials and minerals which are actually useful to us. Secondly, we have to understand it provides land for building houses, roads, factories, and a soil for agriculture. So this particular part is helping us building up our industries, constructing the roads, then having the agriculture and water supply, many other businesses also are done in this area. So therefore it is actually very important. So we have to remember here why the lithosphere is very important. Two reasons we have to remember. One reason is that it is consists of the rocks and minerals, and secondly, it provides us actually for making the buildings, then constructions and agriculture, and many other businesses and markets are also found in this area. So that is about the this lithosphere. So it's clear now, all of you. So lithosphere, once you read from the book, you will get the proper resources for here. Second, we have got the hydrosphere part. Now, hydrosphere, as we have already mentioned, that the hydrosphere actually on Earth is found on all the three forms. That's why I have written here solid, liquid, and gaseous form. Now, when we say the solid, for example, glaciers, and the liquid is a water bodies and underground water, then gaseous is a water vapor in the atmosphere. It means this particular hydrosphere is available in three phases or three sections. There is solid, liquid, and gaseous. In the atmosphere, especially you will find the gaseous form, especially in the form of clouds and all. And a liquid, of course, you can find in the lithosphere available. And solid, of course, you find here. Okay. So anyway, that is about our discussion. So again, this water remains in a continuous circulation in the Earth atmosphere, which is known as the water cycle. Okay. Now, this particular gaseous form, in fact, found in the sky or in the form of clouds, and this is actually circling. It means going to the atmosphere in the form of rain. It is coming back now, and then again in the gases it is forming, and then again going. It means it is known as a circular form actually. So that's why it is known as the water cycle. Of course, you have already found in your previous classes about the water cycle. So hydrosphere is really important to us. There are some of the reasons you can find why it is important. For example, it supports all forms of life. It means if there is no water, the life may not be exist. The life may not be go on. Therefore, it supports every types of life. For example, animals, human beings, plants, organisms, microorganisms, macroorganisms, every bit of life actually are actually supported. Secondly, we have it is used for the domestic and agriculture and industrial purposes. So water is a huge amount or huge volume of water actually made use in the agriculture, in the industry, and in the domestic purpose. Of course, we know it. So that is about it. Then again, it provides us food and minerals. It means without water, we will not able to grow any of the food, especially any of the food we cannot eat. It means every food where we consume, okay, we understand sometimes like dry food and all we are eating, and then we are not drinking drinking this water, but sometimes only it happens. But rest of the time or maximum time, without water, we cannot eat any kind of food. So that's why it helps us to digest, and it helps us to be more effective in our body when we eat the food along with the water. So then it gives us actually minerals in that. So, and it also moderates the climate of the coastal areas. It means when there is no rainfall, when there is no humidity, the world will be totally different. Therefore, this particular water or the hydrosphere actually helping the coastal regions and other part of the region, of course, can make that more and more balance. Especially nowadays, we are facing different heat, and it is the part of the like a global warming we see. And we know that why the global warming is occurring in the world, because we are not taking care of our trees, and we are not planting the trees, and besides we are cutting plenty of trees for the paper and other businesses. So people are today mad behind the cutting of the trees, but they are not planting it. You know, long back people have planted and then they store and they made the things very beautiful. But today's world is what? We are just replacing it. We said we are just finishing away. We are just not taking care of it. And hardly we are planting the trees. Okay? And we are speaking more about the global warming, but we are not doing any sort of activity. So, as children, as I take this class, I would like to suggest you that at this time, now the time is already started, so at this time, at least in your home and around your campus, plant many of the good trees which can produce more and more oxygen. Today, suppose we are speaking about the North America, where we say Amazon forest is very much like a spread, very much areas, and then it is consuming or it is actually creating a huge amount of oxygen. Perhaps people are not aware of it. Many people don't speak about Amazon, isn't it? But this is the huge, big forest actually somehow actually existing. Therefore, we are still very alive, very safe. Okay, so we must take care about our environment by planting the more and more trees, so that the environment can become very beautiful and more easy to breathe and breathe out. Okay, so that is about the hydrosphere. Then again, thirdly we have to speak about, that is it also serves actually international trade route. It means when there is a water body, especially like the ocean, sea, we have the international trade. It means many of the goods through the airways when we cannot bring, then through the water body, through the water we can bring by ship or any of the related to the boat. Okay, so that is about the hydrosphere. Okay, so it's clear now about the hydrosphere. Next we have the atmosphere. Now why the atmosphere is important? Now see, atmosphere in fact we can find that it is a mixture of the gases that actually surrounds the earth and also atmosphere. Now in the most abundant gases actually found in the atmosphere are actually nitrogen. That is around 71% we have found. Nitrogen, nitrogen is 71%. Very huge amount, and then sorry, 70, not 71, 78%. And then you will find that oxygen, you will find around 21%. Oxygen is 21. Oxygen is 21. You will find 21. Then the remaining gases such as like carbon dioxide, ozone, argon, hydrogen and helium constitute only 1% of the atmosphere. So these are other rest of the gases are actually having the less or 1% we can cover. So the gravitational pull of the Earth holds the atmosphere around it, and the changes in the atmosphere causes changes in the weather and climate. So today we can see that this atmosphere is depending on the gravitational pull. It means suppose the Earth will not have the gravitational pull, then most of the evaporation, cloud formation of our environment may not be remaining the area where it's supposed to be. Therefore, this atmosphere actually consisting due to the gravitational pull, and therefore we are getting the rainfall and we are getting seasonal everything. Okay, so that is about that. Then again, we have to remember the changes in the atmosphere cause changes in the weather and climate. So changes of the atmosphere causes changes in the weather and climate. So we must remember. Now let's see some of the reasons why this particular atmosphere we actually required for. Now number one point we have to remember that nitrogen is essential to maintain the fertility of soil. So you must remember nitrogen, even though we have got no much idea, or even you might have not read that nitrogen is so much important, isn't it? So here it is given about the nitrogen is essential to maintain the fertility of soil. So that is very important. Second part, oxygen is necessary for the survival of the human beings. So oxygen is one of the area where if it is not, if we lack means we will die. Okay, so we are depending on the oxygen. Secondly, we have to remember carbon dioxide is necessary for the survival of plants. So we may find that carbon dioxide may not be useful for us, but it is useful for the plants, so that plants can grow and plants can survive and these plants can give us fruits and flowers and oxygen. Okay, so that is important for the plants. Ozone protects us from the ultraviolet rays of the sun. I think sometime back I have talked that ultraviolet, especially from the sun, whatever the rays, the sun rays, understood? The sun rays is coming from the sun, and this rays is very dangerous due to, if this rays could have been come to us directly, then we could have burned. And today even this all those could have been burned. No more trees, and every area, especially the upper layer of this lithosphere could have been burned and could have made ashes. So therefore, this ultraviolet rays actually protected by our this ozone layer. Especially ozone is there. Therefore, today we are safe. Okay? So we are grateful for this kind of things that is happening in our atmosphere. Okay. Next, we have to speak about the biosphere. Now, biosphere, when we speak about, it is the narrow zone, and it is the combining of the three things together. That is the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and the atmosphere. This three part is combining, and it is becoming the biosphere. This three part is there, therefore, the especially the living beings are able to survive. So, in lithosphere, soil, rock, hydrosphere, water, atmosphere, the gases. Now, whatever the living beings we have got, it means we and you. So, and plants. So, these are all actually living in the soil, and when the living beings are living in the soil or in the land, then they need water to survive, and they also need the gas to survive. Especially if the living beings, we need the oxygen. If the plants need the carbon dioxide. So, like that, it is totally actually combined, and then it is actually helping us to grow. So therefore, these three things are very important for the biological things to go on. Therefore, it is known as the narrow zone, where the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere meet and interact, and it is known as the biosphere. Okay, the biosphere, this particular term is actually derived from the Greek word, that is bios. Now, and bios, the meaning is life. And the Latin word actually spira, meaning total range. Okay, so living beings actually ranging from microscopic organisms to huge animals, plants, and human beings, and it is only in the biosphere. So this great variety of the life on Earth is for biodiversity. So some of the regions we have to discuss about this particular biology. So here it is the first region we have to speak why it is important. The first region is what? It produces. These organisms actually produce their own food directly from the environment. For example, plants. So we understand the plants actually also part of the biosphere. And so the plants by themselves, by itself actually producing the food for us, for the animals. So that's why important. So example, plants, and they are actually known as the autotrophs. Then secondly, consumers. Now who is consumers? These organisms actually depend on plants and animals. For example, we human beings and animals are actually depending on the plants. So here we have to understand they are actually known as the heterotrophs. It means consumers, human beings, animals, we are depending on the plants, and we are known as the heterotrophs. And who can create the food by itself? So they are known as the producers, or they are known as the autotrophs. Okay. So these are the things you have to understand. So students, hope you are understanding. So whatever on the board I have mentioned, so I would like to urge you to go through once again properly, and you understand the whole things. And if any doubt, you can give me a message, and I can clarify your answer. So hope this part is over. In the next class, we will speak about ecosystem of this chapter. So ecosystems actually another very important part of the chapter, and followed by human environment. So we will be speaking about these two parts in the next class. Okay. So hope you understood. So for your homework, I will just leave on you some of the short note on the. You write the short note within the 3 points. You must write within the 3 points: lithosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, and then a atmosphere, here biosphere. Okay, so you have a okay. So thank you and have a great day.